Testing 1, 2. What is going on, team? Johnny back with another live day trading session. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your Friday. Today is February 20th, 2026. It's about 7:24 my time. Markets are officially open. Well, I'm sorry, no, they're not. We have about 5 minutes until the market is open, but we are officially here, ready to make some cash. The market's beginning to sell off due to a bad GDP report and bad PCE report. They did come out today, so I want you guys to be aware of that. We're going to go over that in just 1 second. That's why I wanted to come on here just a few minutes early, so that way we can kind of cover that with you today. Here we go, and boom, we are live. So as you can see, markets actually have sold off quite a bit since the overnight session here, pushing up to 606.59 and then dropping all the way down to 599.70. It's currently at $600 or down about 0.5%. We'd love to see this sell off even more. It is very possible. Now, reports did come out that, here we go, we'll just pull this over. Inflation came in hotter than expected year over year in December, according to the PCE report. This is a bearish for the market, okay? This is bearish for the market. PCE year over year came in at 2.9 versus 2.8, so slightly higher. And core PCE year over year came in at 3.0 versus 2.9, okay? Also, breaking news, the US Q4 GDP came in at 1.4. Expectations was 3. Guys, this is not good. This is not good for the overall market, to say the least. So that's why we're seeing some selling pressure here. You could also find this information in Trading Tools. Watch your eyes. Our Investing for Beginners community website, link in the description below if you don't want to type all this in. And right there under Trading Tools, you can see real-time economic data. I'm going to blow this up real quick. And you can see right here, PCE 0.4, core PCE 3%, and then the GDP 1.4%. Now it previously was 4.4. So it's insane to see previously it was 4.4, and now we're only getting 1.2. This says 1.2 on here for GDP sales. So not looking good at all, team, at all. So very sad to see that the GDP came in so low. And this can affect the market in a very bearish way. As you can see, it's already happening. Now, Bitcoin, let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin here. And I got a lot of tools going on. Here we go. And there we go. Making sure we're still green, we're still good. Bitcoin also selling off from highs of 68,300 around what, 3 a.m. it peaked this morning, all the way down to 66.4. Now we'll see what happens. We just literally went from being up, what, $40-50 to now in the red. So we'll see exactly what's happening with MSTR today as this begins to kind of retrace, kind of staying above this level here. We'll see what happens. Wow, what a move. What a move. QQQ is not really pushing up at all. That's interesting, to say the least. QQQ at 600. Bitcoin slightly pushing up, but I mean, it's not a huge push up to validate MSTR pushing up from lows of 127 to 130 now. That's a crazy move here, a couple minutes before market open. Wow, that is a crazy move indeed for MSTR. I did buy some more shares pre-market. We can go to chart settings, cost, or not cost basis, show trading. I did buy a few more down at this level here. I did buy some yesterday as well. Right at the end of close, I bought another 10 shares at 13.70. And then I bought 3 more sections here at 13.46, 13.50, and 13.50. So that brought us to 181 shares. Not too bad, about $2,400 in market value. And again, this can apparently go lower than we thought here, as MSTR is trying to pump up. Looks like it's doing a good job doing it. Wow, crazy move. Bitcoin trying to hold above this new trend line here. Do you guys see how this was a downward descending trend line? Pushed up, came down. Now it's kind of validating it as a support instead of a resistance. So that's very interesting to see. And it is Friday, though usually Fridays aren't necessarily the best. But it's still early. Market just opened, so it is very early here. Wow, markets are under 600 now, above 600. We'll see if we get continuation to the downside. And that's crazy. MSTZ was in the green very nicely. And you guys got to witness that as soon as market opened, it began to sell off again. So we'll see. MSTR should get rejected though with the NASDAQ market. So don't have too much fear, as this can begin to sell off. MSTR is kind of doing its own thing though today. Look. Insane move. MSTR trying to pump. Jeez, I don't even want to look at my mini P&L. Holy moly. Yeah, wow. Wow. QQQ pushing. Now MSTZ did push up to $14 pre-market, $13.96. It's a very good move compared to yesterday. But now we're seeing some red here. It broke through that 13.25 support. Now it was as low as 12.76 this morning, so we could go back down to retest that 12.76 support level. But insane. What a nightmare here for MSTZ at the moment. Now MSTR pushing up to 132. Bitcoin not really doing much either, so it doesn't really there's really no reason why MSTR pushed up that much. That's insane, right? There's no reason for it. QQQ back up to 602, maybe because this popped up to 602 potentially, but whatever it is, they really don't want the markets to drop below 600, so they're doing a great job trying to hold this above 600 right now. A lot of momentum. So it's kind of a wait and hold kind of day. We're already in a position that I was holding overnight. For all of you who watched the live stream yesterday, know that I had 150 shares of MSTZ. Now I have about 180 shares. MSTZ down to 13. Could be a nice area to average down and buy a few more shares before the next rally. It has been as low as 1252 before. So I do want to, make you guys aware of that. So that would be a nice little buy range area between 1250, 1270, maybe even $13 now that it is finding a little bit of that support right there. So a nice area for buying potential, right? In these three levels. Looks like it's already retracing. See if it begins to push up as MSTR falls. MSTR beginning to curl over. So this could be nice. MSTR holding well here. See what happens. Any key resistance levels? Well, 133.50 is technically a key resistance level. So we'll see what happens with that. Bitcoin getting rejected. So it's interesting to see MSTR pushing up so much. QQQ pushing up. So we might get back up to 603, maybe even 605. Maybe even 606.59. So we'll see what happens. Insane recovery here. I'm gonna push this up a little higher. That's all we want. We're just gonna let them run. And remember, the market's not doing very well. I mean, the market is definitely not doing well for these pumps to take effect, but apparently everyone is just buying the dip. Setting our alerts, being patient. Some rejection off of MSTR slightly. MSTZ down to 1290. 1290. I want to buy more so bad, but I'm just holding out. I'm just holding out, guys. 181 shares. I want to add to it, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. Bitcoin slightly getting rejected off of this moving average. QQQ. Here we go. Here's some selling pressure here a little bit. Which is crazy that the PCE report came in worse than expected and GDP came in way worse than expected. And the markets will do what the markets do. They try to find every possible way to pump up. Look at this. Just hit 604. It just hit 604. That was insane for just a moment. So here we go, pushing up again. Once this forms an overbought reversal, then we could take action as this begins to sell off more. Picked up 25 more shares at 1304. Nice. PDIE. Wow.
It's snowing.
It's snowing?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Guys, it's snowing where I live. What the heck? Trade your plan, not your emotions. My beautiful wife brought me a cup of coffee this morning, a little early. Usually I don't drink coffee like 8:30. But you guys will be proud. I woke up at 6 o'clock today. I did. Usually I don't wake up till 7, but I woke up at 6. I was excited to be here with you all today. And yeah, I was excited to see what happened with our trade. And remember, for anyone tuning in for the first time, if you guys want to participate in the live chat, you can. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and you will be able to chat in our live chat, okay? A reminder, it is free to subscribe. All right. Let's see here. Got new home sales in about 20 minutes. That'll give us a little bit more data for the day. New home sales. Of course, that's a good indicator of how the market's doing also. There we go, market curling over. Love to see it. See how MSTR is doing. MSTR pushed all the way up to 133. Now curling back over. MSTZ back up to 1320. So yeah, I should have bought a little more down here. That would have been a good indication, right? 3 stages of reversal. You have your rejection, a little bit of consolidation, and then this confirmation period. Still no change in direction yet. We want to see it back above this moving average to get some more continuation to the upside. But definitely a start here. A lot of consolidation in that level. Bitcoin also consolidating, trying to curl over as well. We'll see if we get it or if it's going to hold above this 45 EMA. It is getting squeezed, so at some point it's going to have to do something, right? It's getting squeezed by the 200 moving average, and it's getting squeezed by the 45-day exponential moving average, right? The EMA. So, you know, so kind of getting this like wedge formation here to where it's either going to break above or it's going to break below. So let's find out what happens with Bitcoin. Okay, QQQ still continuing to try to push higher. Can't believe it's snowing today, guys. MSTZ back to $13, guys. Man, crazy to see. Crazy to see this happening, right? We talked about this yesterday, though. If MSTR pushed up to 133, 135, it'd make more sense to short it at these overbought levels where previous resistance has formed before. Even up to 140, right? There's a lot of resistance in this range, so it makes sense to add to your position at these levels, right? Okay, here we go. See what happens with Bitcoin. Okay, it's good to be a king. If 1329 average isn't bad, and if you can, let's talk in the live chat. Let's talk in the live chat. Are you watching the YouTube stream right now? Hopefully you are. He has 150 shares at a 1329 average. It's not bad for MSTZ, right? 1329 is right here. Better than my average. My average is 1450. And if you could buy more shares, you know, consider buying more shares down at $13 right here. That'd bring your average down a little bit more. I got my live chat on for the YouTube, but also I'm trying to keep up with the messages in the Discord. So either way, you can message me either way. Perfectly fine. Ooh, I want to look at Open Door too. Do you guys watch the video from yesterday or get my my Discord message? Look at this thing. Now we talked about it before. Uh, oh, it's good to be a king. What's up? What's up? What's up? We talked about it before. Open Door. I was like, it's either gonna go up 20% or it's gonna go down 20% on earnings. And sure enough, it pushed up 23%, guys. Now sitting at still about 14%. It was at 18% on open. So we can see Open Door technology begin to sell off more aggressively, right? But yeah, that was right where I said back up to this moving average. So it's interesting to see just the power of showing up every day, the power of you know, understanding stocks and how they move. And it's not always like that, but when you do call out a good trade or when it does something, you're like, wow, okay, cool, cool. It just validates that you're doing something right. You know what I mean? It validates that you're learning and growing. Now, I would love to have traded this yesterday, but like I said, it could have been 20% up or down, and it was up. And for Open Door Technology, it's crazy because they beat. We talk about it here. Let me see in Trade Ideas. We talk about Open Door, and it says Open reported better than expected earnings by 24%, but missed in every other category. Stock is currently up 14% after hours. The hype continues. Definitely a win for those holding. The question is, are you selling or holding? So that was kind of my message from yesterday. Earnings per share, negative 11. Right? They missed it by 1,045% on their earnings per share. Revenue, they beat 594 million in revenue, beat by 24%, but EPS down 688% year over year, revenue down 32% year over year, EPS down 950% quarter over quarter, revenue down 20% quarter over quarter. That's insane, guys. That is insane. Trading tools here, still looking good. We do have new home sales in about 14 minutes. And then, guys, Learn to Earn Academy. We're starting to see it come together. We have 6 modules that'll be coming out for the Learn to Earn Academy, taking you from the foundation and understanding the market to charting basics to finding stocks to trade to risk management, executing trades, and then building consistency. All going to be available to you guys when we release it. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. We have a lot of content to offer you to make you a better trader. That'll probably be coming out the middle of March, potentially the beginning of April. It's a lot of videos to record, but it's going to be, 10 or like, there'll probably be like 1 to 3 minute videos, so you could really get through them really fast, straight to the point on the topic that we're talking about. Flavio, yeah, I know, man. I like your name too. It's good to be king. Flavio, no worries, man. I did wrong. Open. I have 100 shares at 650. Wait, what? When did you buy Open? Did you buy it? You must have bought it a while back, right? Back in January, maybe? You bought it at 650? Okay. It's all about buying the dip, right? When it's selling off and people are fearful and they're saying it's going to go lower, that's when we should really be buying more. Hey, what's up? Good morning. How are you doing today? Yeah, this is we'll see what happens. It could definitely push up higher, but it missed a lot of stuff here. It missed a lot of its numbers that it reported. Potentially hold though. BTC, what's it doing? squeezed itself below. So that was a cool little example to showcase to you guys, right? It wasn't as aggressive as I thought it would be, but it is below that 45 EMA now. Where's Drew at today? Remember yesterday we were talking about Andrew, calling him Drew? Whew, look at that drop by MSTZ. Craziness. Craziness. Still early though. Still early in the day. QQQ pushed all the way back up to 605. We'll see if this continues. But remember, we still have a crisis on our hands with Trump and Iran. Apparently, there's still some factors of war in place here with this whole thing. And it's scary, guys. It's scary. I saw a post saying that it could start as soon as this weekend. Let's see. So this was 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, talking about the Iran-US war. Iran's hypersonic missile versus US warships. Can Iran sink, destroy Trump's warships? Doesn't look good, guys. Very interesting. Says aircraft carriers, massive floating cities, home to thousands of sailors, jets, cutting edge. Well, that doesn't say anything, does it? That literally said nothing. Iran's conflict with Israel and the United States. U.S. military moves into place for possible strikes in Iran. Flavio, are you in on any plays? I hope I can get out of open at even price today if earnings help. Yeah, they definitely helped. I mean, it was up, what, 20, 25% last night when it first initially happened. Now it's still up about 14% or so. Yeah, it's not looking good for the U.S. Iran war. We'll see what happens if it actually comes to pass. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, Flavio, it's also important not to go so heavy. I've done that in the past too, where I put all my money in right at a specific price point and then it drops. And now you are bringing in a lot more emotion because you used all your buying power. You got to ease into it. Buying 10 or 20 share increments at a time, buying the dips, getting into a good position size at a good average price. That will take emotion out to where you have money now. You could buy the dip. If it dips lower, you could buy more. You could also manage your risk better because you didn't go full size right off the bat. It's all about risk management and position size. And I've been there. You know, I'm only telling you because I've been there. I bought 200 shares of a company, watch it go down $100 in a minute just to recover. I break even. I get out because of my emotions and nervous system were shocked, and then it pushes up and follows my trade plan to make $100, $200. But I was so stressed and emotional that I was down 100. I didn't want to lose any more money or for it to go down even more. So then I wasted a day and I broke even, thank goodness. And I've also gotten too heavy where, you know, in a matter of a second, I'm down $600. Talk about that. I was um, showing my wife how to trade one day, and I swear, the one day she comes in here and we watch some charts, I get into a trade. We wait like 2 hours for it to do something because it consolidates. News came out, I believe it was on SQQQ. I thought the markets would sell off more, and the market shot up. Lost $600 on SQQQ, and that was like last summer. Devastating. You know, that was my biggest loss in a single day, and I just felt bad. I was like, wow, cannot believe it. And she saw it too, and she's like, man, maybe you should take a break, you know, do something, go for a walk or something. Like, I was in such like awe and amazement that I could even lose that much money. It was insane. So you got to make sure your position size and risk management are always in account. We got PDIE, he's buying more. He bought another 50 shares at 13.20. He added another 25 at 12.90. Oh no, our GoVols guy. I think is that Andrew? GoVols? I think that's Andrew. He said, funny story, I tried to put in a trailing limit sell order in earlier and accidentally sold everything I had just before MSTZ dropped. I just bought it back at a discount. Nice. Yeah, at one point I was up 60 as well. I was up a decent amount of money this morning, right at pre-market before it dropped. Bitcoin's still below that moving average, right? Giving us every reason for this trade to still work out. This can still begin to sell off even more. It can hold here. It's Friday, right? But I mean, it basically broke this little trade plan we had of this descending horizontal pattern. Of course, you could see it happening, and then sometimes you get in for it to do it again, which is good. It's not really making any lows either. It's just kind of consolidating at this level. QQQ also selling off, so it's all about being patient. And again, I would have loved to be able to have bought more down here. Like I still kind of can, I guess, in a way. I don't even know if it'd be worth it. Let's just do 5. Let's do 5 shares at 13.01. Just to say that we bought the dip. All right, we're almost at double digits again, guys. Remember, we start hitting double digits on these live streams, which is 10 people or more, then I will be more enticed to do giveaways, right? It'll make more sense to do giveaways for you all. Talking $25 gift cards, $50 gift cards, maybe even $100 gift cards eventually. The more people we have tuning in, giving you guys free merchandise, whether it be some, you know, trading chart mouse pads, or maybe a trading journal, maybe a trading t-shirt, hat, hoodie. I'm going to come up with some cool ideas for some great giveaways. I know everyone likes cash, so why not just start with some gift cards? But yeah, double digits on the live stream. We hit 14 people on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we hit 9 yesterday. So I mean, we're getting close. There are days we do get double digits on our live stream. So I encourage you guys, if you're watching this through the Discord app, YouTube does not technically see you as, so if you could just hit that little YouTube button in the right bottom corner of the Discord platform, you'll see that. hit YouTube, it'll jump you over to the YouTube platform, and then it'll showcase that you are in fact watching, and that'll really help. Do you guys want some giveaways? Let's make it happen. Shoot, I got plans. I got a whole business plan for just the giveaways. I love to see you guys win, and I love to see you guys happy. So I would not mind doing some good giveaways here. And let me know. Give me some ideas. What are some good giveaways that you guys would like to participate in and have? I could draw your name. We could pick a number. Could use a random selector. There we go. QQQ curling over. Trying to go back up to 605. BTC not really doing anything at all. MSTR trying to push higher, which means MSTZ is of course slightly lower here. Now remember, this trade might not play out till, maybe the end of the day, maybe not till Monday, right? But make sure you guys manage your risk accordingly. Make sure you know when to cut your losses, because MSTZ is still selling off. Know when to buy more if that's what you're planning on doing. But make sure you're doing your part. Holy moly. There we go. Selling off again. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Whoa, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin just shot up out of nowhere. MSTR pushing even higher out of nowhere, guys. Insane. Whoa. QQQ up to 608. I don't understand what's happening right now. That is insane. Holy moly. Huge push up, guys. Huge. This is insane. What news? Wow. Consumer sentiment report came out. Let's see. It's an overreaction of some kind, guys. Could be a bull trap, too. 8 o'clock. Here we go. Selling back off. I don't see any news on this. Holy moly, that was crazy. Looks like it's starting to give it back too now. Let's see. MSTR up to 136. Whoa, what a move. All the way down to 1221. Holy moly. I'm down almost $200 on the day. And about, what, 400 on the actual position? Crazy. B-Dubs, how you doing, man? B-Dubs is in the house. I'm down $356 on this trade. Average share price $14.46. Oh yeah, Trump's rule against tariffs, whether they're going to be legal or illegal today. Let's see. I guess it's not really saying anything yet. Oh, 17 hours ago. You know where we can go to? We can go to markets. We can go to news. This was an hour ago. Paramount regulatory waiting period for Warren. Here we go. Selling off. I don't see any ruling just yet on Trump. Wow. Crazy. Look at that. Pumped up, came back down to 604. Okay, I guess it is confirmed that Supreme Court rules against Trump's tariffs. So how are we going to pay back $300 billion? This is insane. How are we going to pay it back if we already used it? This is also makes the market extremely bearish. Oh man, this is horrible. Supreme Court rules against Trump's tariffs. So that was the news. It pumped up, people thinking that it was a good thing, and then realizing that it's actually a bad thing. How are we going to pay back all that money? Interesting. Interesting how the market would respond in a positive way like that. That doesn't even make any sense. U.S. Supreme Court rules against Trump's global tariffs enacted under a federal law meant for national emergencies only. Markets will be bullish to trap new investors, then it will drop. I could see that. It's not going to be a good weekend, guys, for sure. For Trump anyways, right? And hopefully the overall markets will sell off as well too. Wow. Wow. I didn't think they were going to vote against him. I did a whole video on it yesterday talking about how they're probably just going to delay it and push it back further. They didn't. They ruled on it. I just don't know how this is a good thing. How could the markets possibly think that this is a good thing to happen? I don't know. Look at that big recovery down from 12.21 all the way back up to almost $13. MSTR, huge retracement back down from 136, showcasing that 136 is a pretty valid resistance level still to this day. 136, so we'll see what happens here. And that catalyst, right? It's been held below this descending trend line, pushed up, validated as a support, and continues to push higher, right? So that definitely didn't, it definitely helped. Bitcoin pushed up too for just a moment and then came back down. Still below this moving average here. I'm going to go ahead and reduce these levels since they're no longer as important now. Basically like that. Even do something like that. Wow, wow, wow. And here we go. Bitcoin beginning its descent back down. MSTR selling off as well. So let's see this thing really push up. Who bought the dip? Who bought the dip down here, guys? Out of all of you, did any of you buy the dip down at 12.20s? Man, that was insane. Here we go. Here comes the markets. Wow. We've been live for 46 minutes and it's snowing outside. And the markets are just doing what the markets do best. Pushing up to new levels. I mean, it could push up to 609 if it really wants to. I don't understand how this could be good news for the overall market, though. I really don't. Stumbled as GDP growth loses steam. Interesting. Ruling could put over 175 billion in U.S. tariff revenue at risk. I heard it was like closer to 300 billion. Wow. Still too early to tell. It says more than 175 billion in U.S. tariffs collection are at risk of having to be refunded if the U.S. Supreme Court rules against President Donald Trump. They did rule against him today. So, yeah, $175 billion. And they're going to have to pay it back. This one says Trump has toted the revenue generated by all of his tariffs, estimated the Congressional Budget Office at about $300 billion annually over the next decade. But the estimate shows that a substantial amount may need to be refunded if the court rules against Trump. Yeah, refunds of $175 billion would exceed the combined fiscal 2025 outlays from the Department of Transportation. $127 billion and the Department of Justice at $44 billion. That's insane. That's more than an entire 2025 fiscal year. Dang. Wow. Wow. So America, right? So the US would have to pay back 300 billion to all the other countries that President Trump imposed tariffs on. Do you remember all that news chatter and reports a while back talking about 100% tariffs on certain countries, 200% tariff on like China? Well, that went into effect, and all of these countries are paying the US millions, if not now billions of dollars to import their goods into America, right? It's basically an import tax. So these tariffs, which he's collected between 175 billion and 300 billion dollars from other countries, will now potentially have to be refunded back to those countries. And if we don't have that money, then where do we get the money from? Do we just print more money? I mean, obviously the government prints money, but can we get away with printing another $300 billion to pay back? Did we already spend that money? Do we have it somewhere in reserve? I mean, I doubt that. So yeah, the US it's going to be interesting. So we just got to give this more time. We got to give the markets more time to react to this news. We had a really bad GDP. I mean, our GDP got cut into fourths. It was at a 4%. Now it's at a 1.2%, guys. So our GDP for America got cut into basically a third or even a fourth of what it produces, which is insane, right? And the expectations too, they expected, okay, it's not 4%, it's going to be 3%, and then it comes in at 1.4%. I mean, the market should be selling off more aggressively, in my mind. Inflation also went up. So inflation is slightly higher than it was year over year, which isn't good either, right? So higher inflation. We're making less money as a country, and now we have, $300 billion to pay back. So it's going to be insane. And the market just needs time to digest all this information. Take a look, MSTR now below the moving average, giving back everything that it pushed up for. All of its gains given right back. Pushing below the moving average. Let's see if we can get below this moving average here. It's below the EMA. Let's see if we can get below the moving average. MSTZ back up to 1325, 1320. So we've recovered a huge amount, guys. At one point we were down $200 on the day, 400 on our position. Now we're only down like 50 bucks. 50 bucks down about 200. That's about normal, okay? That's normal for this. I got in a little too high. I have a 1447 average. But to be down an additional 200, down $400, that could freak anybody out. That was insane. Now we're only down about 50 bucks on the day. I'll take it. We got time for this to recover. You can plenty of room to move. And again, I should have been more patient. I knew it could come back up here to resistance at 135. I knew this was a common resistance area. I could have done my job by being much more patient and buying this dip today, right? Buying at 12.20, buying at 12.50, and already up $1 per share at these lows. Right, up $1 per share or 8%. So I could have done a better job by, just exiting out of this trade, taking a small loss, having the buying power to buy more at this level, and making all of our money back the next day. Now, I still believe this can push up higher. Obviously, it can push up to $14.50. It can push up to $15 even again. But it's all about just being patient. And again, if your emotions are getting to you and you're stressing out, we have a member that's a little stressed out right now. Just know that, hey, we got to reduce our position size. We got to make sure we follow our trade plan. Make sure that we are cutting our losses when it makes sense. Setting our stop losses and taking profits. At one point he said he was up $60 today. That would have been the area to maybe trim a little off the top. Take a little bit off the top of your position. Maybe get out completely. Lock in the $60 and then wait for a better entry and take a better entry. Okay, so it's all about what's right for you. Right? Confidence, emotional levels, and stuff like that as well. So looks like Bitcoin sold off pretty aggressively over the last few minutes. Love to see it back below the moving average. So let's just be calm, cool, and collected. And remember, if you are feeling emotional or stressed out, then maybe reducing your position size or not taking a trade at all could actually help you in the long run, okay? QQQ up to 606. So more than likely, I will be holding my position a little longer, probably until Monday is what it looks like. Holding it over the weekend could be beneficial, could not be, right? This could push up to 609. It could even push up to 617. The market's going to do whatever the market wants to do. But I'm not seeing how any of this could be good news for the overall markets. I really don't. But I am liking the fact that Bitcoin lost a lot of steam. It's back below this moving average. We could see it drop a little bit further, which means MSTR could also drop down a little further. Remember, if it really wanted to pump, it would be pumping right now with these big green candles and pushing above 136, going to 140. But due to the lack of progress, due to the lack of it pushing up higher, I do like the idea of holding on to my MSTZ position still a little longer. And we are about to hit the 1 hour mark. So just like I did yesterday, I'll showcase to you guys in the Discord anything that I end up doing with my position. Do I add more? Do I take a little off? Do I cut my losses? I will keep you updated in the Discord. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday. We'll see you all here for our Sunday stock talk, so we can actually see, the day play out today, but then also on Sunday when the market opens for those overnight trading hours at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, then we can get a better understanding of where the direction of the market can go next week as well. So I probably will be doing some sort of a giveaway on Sunday as long as we have double digits watching. So make sure you guys tune in for that Sunday stock talk. We're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be talking about the top 5 stocks that I'm watching for the week. And then you can also share any stocks, ETFs that you guys see value in during that live stream as well. Okay, so I appreciate your guys' time. Like always, remember, let's end the year on a green note. And you guys have a great weekend.